Hello everyone, welcome to Yoga for Equestrians. So this practice today is designed for anyone who does horse riding, but also for anyone as well. You don't have to ride a horse to be able to do this practice. It's going to be an all-round practice, developing a little bit of core strength, balance, using breathing techniques to remain calm and composed in tricky situations, stretching, activating the hip flexors, relaxing the shoulders, a little bit of everything today. So without further ado, let's get started. You don't need a yoga mat, you don't need any other props, you just need a little bit of space to be able to move. Ideally, barefoot. It's a little bit cooler today, so I've got my funky socks on with the toes. If you've got a pair of these are all good. You can wear socks as long as they're not going to slip around on the surface that you're on. So let's begin standing with feet about hip width apart, toes pointing forwards. Let's start as we mean to go on. So a nice firm foundation. So thinking about gently tucking the tailbone under. So we're not over exaggerating the tilt of the pelvis. It's as if there are a weight on your tailbone and you're drawing your belly button in towards your spine, lifting the center of your chest, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your arms down by your sides. So your spine has its natural curve to it. We don't want to iron that out anyway. Once we've got this lovely posture called Tadasana, mountain pose, I'd like you to reach your arms forwards in front of you and up towards the ceiling as you breathe in, pressing down into your feet. When your arms get to the top, connect your thumb and first finger, and as you exhale, bend your elbows and imagine you're letting a veil of protection wrap over you as you breathe out, bringing your arms down by your side. You can close your eyes for this bit as well if you like. Breathing in, arms reaching in front of you, palms facing each other, stretching into your fingers. Connect your thumb and first finger as you exhale. Draw that imaginary veil of protection over your body, breathing out long and slow. We'll do one more like that, breathing in, reaching your arms up, pressing down into your feet, engaging your tummy muscles. Breathing out, connecting your thumb and first finger, bending your elbows, and imagine you can feel a gentle weight of a veil dropping over your shoulders, your head, your torso. When you're up to standing, open your eyes, take a deep breath in, reach your arms up towards the ceiling again, grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Start to pull with your left hand, start to pull your right arm up towards the ceiling and then over towards the left. So you're pulling, stretching the whole right side of your waist. If your neck is comfortable, you can turn your head to look to the right. Keep the breathing going. Come back to the center, swap hands. So this time, right hand is going to hold onto your left wrist, gently drawing your arm over to the right, keeping hips over ankles, stretching your upper body, feeling the space expand between your ribs, lengthening your spine, keeping that gentle tuck, belly button to spine. Come back to center. Take your arms wide, and as you take your arms wide, I'd like you to fold forwards at your hips, keeping belly button to spine, coming into a nice flat back position, extending out through your arms, strong in your legs. So think about squeezing your heels as if they're dragging towards each other, lifting your belly, squeezing your thigh muscles so your kneecaps lift, reaching crown of the head forward. Then bring your hands onto your hips, keep squeezing shoulder blades together. Bend your knees, let your belly and chest rest on your knees. When you've got nice and deep into your little squat position, keep your neck long, send your knees forward, send your hips forward, and scoop yourself all the way up to stand again. We'll do that one more time. Take a deep breath in, lift into your chest, extend your arms out wide. As you breathe out, folding forwards at your hips, nice strong in your legs, come into your flat back position. Take a couple of breaths here. And bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then when you need to exhale, bend your knees, let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. And as you're ready to inhale, send your knees forward, your hips forward, as if you're scooping yourself up from underneath you, lifting yourself up, opening your chest towards the sky. Relax your shoulders, tuck your tailbone. Let's do a little bit of balance now. So take the weight into your left foot, all of the weight into your left foot. Making sure you're not sticking your left hip out to the left. Pull the left hip in, squeeze the left knee up, squeeze the left glutes, the left bottom muscles. And when you're ready to, your right leg, I'd like you to just let it swing backwards and forwards, any amount, trying to keep your shoulders over your hips. So just seeing what range of motion, well, when you're looking around, you go wobbly, and that's fine. See what range of motion you have in your hips. Challenge your balance, take your arms into a different position, play with it. Look around the room. Perhaps if you're doing this with other people, you could look at them as well. When you see moving things, balance becomes harder. So you're using your core to stabilize. You're using the back muscles, which are also part of your core, to stabilize. Now the next time your right leg swings backwards, I'd like you to tuck your right toes, gently land your right toes down to the floor, and then slowly shift your weight into your right heel. So your right knee can bend, your left leg can straighten, your left toes can lift up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to your hips and just begin to circle your hips here as if you're hula hooping or salsa dancing. Strictly Come Dancing time of year now. And then changing direction with your hips. Maybe reaching your chest forward a little bit, feeling the tummy muscles squeeze as your bum tucks underneath you. Nice. And coming back to center. Stepping into your left toes and straightening both legs out. Making sure that your back foot, the right foot, is slightly out to the side. So you've got space as if you were going to go for a walk and step your right foot forward. We're not going to, but you want it to be on that kind of plane. So right toes are almost pointing forwards, left toes and the front foot are pointing forwards. Hips are square to the front of your mat, shoulder blades are relaxing down your spine, chest is lifted. So you're thinking about pulling the left hip back, the right hip forwards. Take a deep breath in. Lift and lengthen through the crown of your head, through the center of your chest. And as you breathe out, hinging at your hips. Taking your gaze forward, but keeping your chin towards your chest. So you're looking out through the tops of your eyes. Not compressing your neck. Coming into that flat back position. Now you'll feel the stretch down the back of this left leg here. Keep pulling the left hip back. Keep squeezing the left heel in towards the midline, so your knee is externally rotating. If you think, what are you talking about? Just make sure you're not straightening your left knee too much and it's not going backwards in the wrong direction. Teeny tiny bend on this front knee. Take one more breath here. Then as you breathe in, we're going to go from stillness to moving, which is quite common in horse riding. So when you're ready, as you breathe in, we're going to step into the left leg and go straight back into our swinging of the right leg. Being prepared for anything, being able to stabilize for anything is a useful technique to have. Not just for equestrianism, but for general everyday life. And again, you can see I'm moving my arms, so let your arms move as well. Or practice having your shoulders relaxed, letting your arms be still. Now the next time your right knee comes up in front of you, I'd like you to bend it. Bring your knee up in front of you, bending the knee, and then start to make some big circles with your right leg. You can have your hands on your hips, your head, your shoulders out to the side, and rest down by your sides wherever feels comfortable for you. Now these circles are your circles, so they might be a bit smaller than mine. They might be a bit bigger than mine, they might be a bit faster, they might be a bit slower. But can you link your circles with your breath? And I know your left leg is probably talking to you right now. Let's change direction. So if anyone is feeling clunking and grinding in the hip right now, make your circles a little bit smaller. Brilliant. And then coming back, lowering your right foot to the floor. Just taking a moment, close your eyes. Be completely still. Notice the left side of your body compared to the right side of the body. Notice that what you can see behind your closed eyelids. Perhaps if you've been concentrating on a spot, we call that a drishti, focusing all your attention on a spot for so intently, you might have the image of that, whatever you were looking at, on the backs of your eyelids right now. Can you relax your breath again? Can you calm everything down? And when you're ready to, opening your eyes, shifting your weight into your right foot, and we'll do the same on the right hand side, so making sure your right toes are pointing forwards, squeezing the right hip into the midline, so strong in your right leg. You're not all floppy, nice and strong, and then when you're ready to, just swinging your left leg, keeping shoulders over hips, noticing what range of motion is there for you, forwards and backwards, and again, arms, woo! If you fall over, laugh at yourself. Enjoy the sensation of falling and catching. Where is your motion today? And then the next time your left leg steps back, you're going to gently lower your toes even, to the floor. Begin to transfer the weight into your left heel. As you do so, bend your left knee, straighten the front leg, the right leg, and lift the right toes. Hands to the hips and salsa those hips again. So making hula hoop motions with your hips, feeling your tummy muscles squeeze as your pelvis comes forwards. Feeling your back muscles squeeze as it comes back. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your breath, and then changing direction. Don't forget to smile, it's really important. And then slowly starting to lower your right toes, the front toes down to the floor, straightening out your left leg and squaring your hips to the front of the mat. So that might mean stepping the left foot slightly out to the side. Relaxing your shoulders, belly button to spine, relax your jaw. Think lovely long neck. You don't want to strain your neck by lifting your chin, keeping chin to chest. And as you exhale, hinging forwards at your hips. Lovely. Remember, a teeny tiny bend on the knee. You shouldn't be able to see it, but you will be able to feel that bend on the knee. So we're not pressing the knee backwards in the direction it's not supposed to go. Keep squeezing tummy in towards your spine. So you don't want your belly hanging forward here, your back rounding. You want to be lifting up, pulling belly button into spine, lifting the pelvic floor muscles. It feels like you're doing a tight pair of jeans at the same time as holding in a wee. So that's the pelvic floor engagement. We call that Mula Bandha. One more breath here. Parsvattanasana. Then bend your right knee as you breathe in. Scoop yourself up to stand and come back to your swinging of your left leg. So we've gone from still to moving and we've had to stabilize. Swinging the leg, finding stillness in the movement, finding your breath, challenging yourself if you want, and even closing your eyes, some of you. See how that changes perspectives. Then the next time your left knee comes up in front of you, bend the knee, flex the foot, and begin to make those circles again. So remember on the other side I mentioned making your circles a bit smaller if it feels clunky. So my left hip is my clunky, grindy hip. So I have to make my circles a little bit smaller to start off, warming them up before going too big. Because if I go too big, you don't want to wear away the joint. And changing direction. Some of you might be feeling this now in your right leg, your right bum cheeks, right ankle. You've got this. And then release, lower your foot to the floor. Both feet hip width apart. Relax your shoulders, close your eyes. and just observe how your body is feeling now. It might want to shake out that right leg, so just for a moment, just be with the sensations that arise. See if you can sit with them. See if you can use your exhales, so the breathing out part of your breath, to calm your mind, to relax your body. So you can do that by making the exhales, the breathing out sections, longer, deeper, slower. And this is really useful when we are in any situation that makes us feel a little bit anxious, a little bit worried, a little bit stressed, where our heart rate is elevated. If you can just remember to start to lengthen the breath, breathe. Don't know about the rest of you, but certainly I have moments when I'm writing and I have to have a word with myself, reminding myself to breathe. And I use the exhales to calm me, go with the flow. And when you're ready, let your eyes blink open. Just have a little shoulder roll, shake out your legs now, relax your neck, roll your head around the front of your chest. And we're going to make our way down to the floor, any way that's comfortable for you. Just coming down to all fours. We're just going to do a little bit of core work on all fours. So making your way down to hands and knees, with knees under shoulders, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, crown of the head reaching forward. Nice long spine, so belly button to spine. I'm not letting my back dip, I'm not rounding it too much, and I'm looking straight down to the floor. Let's lift the right leg into the air behind us, keeping the hips level. And once you've found that balance, can you lift your left arm forwards? Take a deep breath in here, extend into your right heel, your left fingers. Then as you breathe out, bring your elbow and knee to touch underneath you, squeezing your tummy muscles. Inhale to extend. Exhale, squeeze. One more time, inhale to extend. Exhale, squeeze, elbow and knee together. Lower your left knee and your hand down to the mat. Walk your hands back in towards you now to come to a high kneeling position. We're going to work the quadricep muscles. So knees are about hip width apart again, so they're straight down. So if you find the middle of your hips, the bony bits of your hips, and think straight down through the femur bones. That's where your knees want to be. It's up to you whether you have your toes flat on the floor or you tuck them under behind you. Again, belly button to spine, shoulders lifting, good posture, open chest, relaxed posture. Take a deep breath in, bend your elbows, lift your chest, press your hips forward slightly. Think about leaning backwards slightly. Then as you breathe out, you're going to take your weight backwards. Reach your arms forwards. Feel your thigh muscles working, feel your tummy muscles working. Hold it for a moment. Breathe in. Lift your arms. Bend your arms like a cactus. Open your chest. Tailbone tucks under, bum muscle squeeze. Breathe out. Reach forwards. Take your hips back. Take your bottom back, but don't let it touch your heels. Relax your shoulders. Can you all feel that? Breathe in one more time. Let's do that one more time. Try it in a different way now. So if you had your toes tucked, untuck them. And if they were untucked, tuck them. Open your chest. Breathe out. Reach your arms forwards. Take your hips back. Squeezing tummy muscles. Oh, there they are, there they are. Relax your shoulders. And then breathe in. Oh, that feels good. Reach up. Open your heart. Bring your hands down towards the floor. Hands under your shoulders. Knees under your hips. Let's do that same little balance core sequence on the other side. So extending your left leg out behind you. Try not to think about lifting your hip, so keep your hip pointing down towards the earth. So if I was to come and balance a tray on your bottom, it wouldn't slide off to the right. Toes point down to the floor. Making sure your left wrist is under your shoulder. When you're ready, lift your right arm out in front of you. Take a deep breath in, extend right fingers to left heel. As you breathe out, squeeze elbow and knee. Inhale to extend. Keep looking down to the floor, back of the neck long. Exhale, squeeze. One more time, inhale, extend. This time as you exhale, imagine you're squeezing a sponge in your tummy, wringing it out. Lovely. Inhale to extend. And then lower your hands and your knees down to the floor. Let's have a little outer hip stretch to finish. So walk yourself around to seated on your bottom and extend your legs out in front of you. I'm going to come sideways on so you can see what's doing. Pebbles isn't going to move. So hands to the floor behind you, puffing up your chest. You're not collapsing into your tummy. We've created that engagement there. Then pick up your right ankle and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Then bend your left knee. So you're letting your right knee hang off to the side, so it's like that. Lovely. Then, totally up to you where you are. If it feels too much of a stretch, you can straighten your left leg out until it feels okay. If you want a bit more, you can bring your foot closer to your bottom closer to your heel, and walk yourself in. And so I can really feel that on the outer right hip and my right glute. Relax your shoulders, lift your chest, belly button to spine. Make sure this foot, the right foot, is pointing up towards the ceiling and flexed. Because if it's not, your knee is vulnerable. You've got this muscle here, the gastrocnemius muscle, that crosses the knee joint and protects your knee. When your foot is flexed, that muscle is engaged. So please do flex that foot. Take one more breath. Then slide your left leg straight. Hold on to the back of your right leg. Unravel it and just shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to stay here. Can you notice I'm leaning back slightly? I'm not rounding into my low back. I'm lifting as if I'm lifting myself away from the floor. Shoulders are relaxed. Just extend your right leg any amount. It can be completely straight. It can be a little bit bent. Holding on to the back of your thigh. Maybe now, wherever your leg is, you can take your hands away. Maybe just one hand, maybe both. Lovely. I'm going to do 5 lifts and lowers. Leaning back slightly, shoulder blades squeezing together. Lovely. You've got this. 4. Tummy muscles, hip flexors. 5. Bend your knees. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Drop your forehead to your knees. Have a little knee hug, rounding into the back. Breathe in, lift your chest, hands out behind you. This time, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. You might stay here and this might feel enough of a stretch for you. Maybe you pull your right foot in towards you slightly. Please don't forget this left foot should be flexed now. Maybe you come in a little bit closer. You listen to your body. Your left side and your right side are likely to be different. So you might not be in the same place. It's going to feel different. Can you breathe? Find that calm. Find that breath that you need when you need to be calm. Long exhales. Maybe close your eyes here. So this is a seated version of a pigeon pose. And wherever you are, extend your right leg out along the floor, straighten your right leg down, hold on to the back of the left thigh, and bring the left foot, unravel the left foot. Now remember, I'm going to do it with my leg bent on this side to demonstrate that we can do exactly the same thing with the knee bent. From here, have a go at taking one hand away, keeping your chest lifted, leaning back slightly. Maybe you take both hands away. If you're feeling it, you could straighten your left leg, but where I'm going to demonstrate with the knee bent, just to show it's possible. So when you're ready, we're going to do 5 lowers and lifts, lowers and lifts. And it doesn't have to be super far. It can be a lower and a lift. It can be a lower and a lift. Totally up to you, but we're not crunching chest in. We're keeping the upper body still and using these hip flexors. Lovely. I think I've done about 8 there. Relaxing, sliding your feet in together and letting your knees relax apart. Holding onto your ankles or your shins or wherever feels comfortable. And just letting your upper body make some rotations here. So we've rotated and warmed up the hips, loosened up the hips, and now we're going to do the same in the upper body and the shoulders. Nice deep breathing. And then when you're ready to ease off on your circling, bring your hands behind you. Keep your legs in this position if it's comfortable too, or you can bend your knees and have your feet flat to the floor. Come down onto your elbows. Guide yourself down slowly. Squeeze belly button to spine. Tuck your pelvis under in order to lower your lower back first, then your upper back, then your shoulders and head. Let your arms drop down by your sides and let your knees relax. If this feels uncomfortable for you, or your hips are too tight, then by all means, just stay here for one more breath. And then you can bend your knees and rest your knees against each other, or you can straighten your legs out. Let your arms rest down by your sides. Staying lying down on your backs for relaxation. Letting your whole body relax into the floor. The lower body doesn't need to hold on, doesn't need to squeeze. It can let go. So completely relax the lower part of your body. Your upper body and your arms doesn't need to squeeze, doesn't need to hold on, doesn't need to work. So let go. Relax the whole of your upper body. Your head, your jaw, your face. It doesn't need to concentrate. Your forehead can be smooth. Your head can become as heavy as it needs to be. The floor will support you. Let your whole body relax. Let go of effort with your breathing. Just allow your breath to move easily and freely without any control. And if you feel that that is a challenge, join me now and take a deep breath in through your nose. Make a very small hole between your lips and let the air blow away as if you were blowing a golden thread of light into the distance. Watching that golden thread of light. Watching where it goes, who it moves over, the landscape it moves through. If you need another one like that to really relax, then breathing in through your nose, making that small parting between your lips and just letting the air exhale away, blowing away your imagined golden thread of light into the distance, watching its journey. Letting your body, your mind and your breath rest. just like you now to become aware of your surroundings again. You don't need to move yet. You don't need to take any control yet. Just begin to observe what you can feel, what you can hear. And just allow your mind to cultivate a little scenario for you now. Imagine now that you are in a place or in a situation that makes you feel slightly anxious. It's not a terrifying, scary situation that you're going to find yourself in. It might just be simple as getting ready because you're running late in the morning. It might be something, a conversation you've had at work. It might be the kettle's boiled but the doorbell's rung. Anything like that. A situation that just gets your heart rate elevated just a little bit and you feel a little bit like, oh, perhaps you're on a new horse, or your horse isn't behaving quite as you want it to be. Or perhaps you've got issues around the way you are behaving around your horse. And I'd like you now to just notice yourself as you feel right now in that situation. Now that you've relaxed, now that you've steadied your breath and that your whole body is relaxed. How would this relaxed, calm version of you deal with that situation? How would you respond to that situation? Is there anything different to how it would normally play out when you're in fight or flight mode, when your hackles are up? And just remember this sensation. Commit that scenario just into the back of your memory somewhere so that you can remember how you feel when you feel this calm, this relaxed. You can go into a difficult situation with ease and you deal with it differently. It's not always easy, it's not always possible, but we can try. So now when you're ready, you can begin to wiggle and stretch, wake your body up. Taking a few really deep breaths, perhaps taking a toe to fingertips, stretch along the floor, stretching out, taking up as much space as you can and need. And then when you're ready to, lifting yourself over onto one side and making your way to any comfortable seated position where you can be upright, your spine can be long again, your tailbone can be tucking under, and you feel the activation in your core, which is a band all the way around your middle. It's not just the tummy muscles. Let's take a final deep breath in together, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, stretching into your arms. Then as you breathe out, bring your palms together and draw your hands down the midline, resting your thumbs at the center of your chest, closing your eyes, bowing your chin to your chest, and reminding yourselves that you can deal with difficult situations. You've got this. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. See you soon.